Questions and answers about being a mountain leader. Hi, my name is Ben. I'm a UK-based mountain leader and welcome to Summit and Beyond. In today's video, I am going to answer some questions. Okay, next question. Question 1 is from Bold Adventures. Cheers, Dave. Boots or trail runners or both? Boots or trail runners or both? Personally, I've used both. I was brought up on boots. I was in the army, we wore boots. And then over time, over the years, I've switched to less and less. My personal preference is to wear trail runners, but there's loads of different conditions where you might want to consider actually having that extra support. So it depends on you, and it depends on how your body is. I personally go for trail runners, but I know lots of people prefer boots. There's no need to go out buying leather either. I think you can just get the trail runner styled boots. But it depends. Okay, next question. 2 from Kyle or Impala on Trail. What's the most overlooked part of the ML syllabus? Thanks for that one, Kyle. I think the most overlooked part of the ML syllabus is clothing and equipment. I get you want to look like a professional mountain leader, so you dress a certain way, you carry a certain looking pack, you pack it a certain way, you pack it how you're told to pack it, up and shoving everything in the bag and waterproofing everything, and everything's got to be separate from everything else in separate waterproof bags. And these guys who have hiked thousands of miles, the way that they pack is carry lighter kit, pack better, be able to move more efficiently out on the ground. Yeah, I think that's the most overlooked bit of the syllabus. Okay, next question. Will I get altitude sickness? I need oxygen if I try to summit Snowdon after lockdown. You won't get altitude sickness, but you're gonna feel the ascent. You'll head out to the fells, and all of a sudden you'll realise how little you've been going up and down, and you've just been running on the flat or hiking on the flat, and you're gonna get out of breath, and your legs are gonna burn, and you're gonna be like, holy shit. Okay, next question. Hi, I'm planning on doing some night navigation and was thinking how to get the best out of this. I was considering going to Colbeck Common and staying relatively low. Would this work? And any night nav tips would be brilliant. Thanks. How to get the best out of your night nav. Start small, achievable goals, and then start to amp it up a little bit and challenge yourself more and more. Build your confidence. You have to go out there and miss some of your targets to feel like you lost, to find your way. That is how to build confidence. Go out with somebody who knows how to nav and test yourself with them. Take somebody out and teach them how to nav, and you'll automatically start to realize where your weaknesses are, because you'll get frustrated with yourself when you can't explain thoroughly how to do a certain thing. Make sure you've got a plan B. I know that I'm going to be able to get back to the road. Doesn't matter where I am, if I follow a bearing, I will hit the road. I personally spent most of my night nav sessions when I was preparing to do my ML training and assessment in the moorland. In the moors, it's just a lot different. It's undulating, boggy areas that you have to go around, which aren't necessarily marked on the map. So you end up in the moorland having to do using a lot of skills with your compass and pacing and timing to get to where you're going. You just got to get out there and you've got to do it. Okay, next question. What's your mountain leading food situation look like for one night plus? It's just fuel. That's how I see it when I'm out in the fells. Food is just fuel. I don't need to be eating 3 times a day. I need to be eating when I need to be eating to fuel my body, to move it, to fuel my brain, to keep it navigating well. Like I've been out with my climbing instructor before, and he'll pull out like sandwiches, soggy sandwiches, where they've like opened a lunchbox and it's got like avocado and all this beautiful food in, and I'm like, that's cool, but you're then carrying this big box. Not ideal. Calories, man, just keep the calories going. I am a coffee addict, so I would be packing some coffee, my jet boil. I would have a hot drink in the morning, and on a night time and through the day, a wrap. I like carry some wraps in a bag, and I'd have a few bags of chorizo cheese and carrots or something like that. And then I literally, when it's meal time, I would just take a tortilla wrap out of the bag, pour one of the food bags into that, just eat it. It depends. Okay, next question. Sarah says yes on Instagram. She said, I'm not sure if you've done the questions and answers yet. I'm sorry that it's taken me so long. But some information on what to expect from ML training course from an attendee perspective is essential. What is essential to take and what isn't to be stressed about, etc. You're always left with the question of, I'm going to meet a group of people who've all got different experiences in this field. Am I experienced enough to join that group? And the same happens at assessment. You go to assessment and you're like, have I done enough? But on the training course, what you got to remember is the people who are running the training course are essentially assessing where you're at within your Mountainleader skill set, because then it gives them the chance to say, you really shit. Can you go away and through the mountains, over the moors, and so you can strengthen up? Like my weakness has always been flora and fauna, both. Like it always has, plant life and animals. I love them. I'm like, I'll gaze at the plants and I'll gaze at the animals like for hours, and then you go, what's that? And I'm like, oh, I'm not sure. But over the years, I'm getting better with it because I'm looking at it more and then finding out what these things are. I just struggled a bit. But, so my thing was, in my assessment, they would say to me, why do you know so little about flora and fauna? And I would say, because I'm more passionate about people and culture and geology and how the mountain environment shapes the culture in the valley. And in assessment, they'll be like, oh wow, okay, what can you tell me about the culture in this valley? So then I start talking about the culture in the valley. I start telling them folklore stories and talking about the mountains and the geology, and they're like gripped by that, and they're like, if you were out with a group, you would be leading that group and keeping them entertained. That's the sign of a good mountain leader, right? Going into training, what I would say is, just go and do it. If you've got experience in the mountains and but you're scared about night nav, or you're scared about flora and fauna not getting it right, don't worry about it. Just go and do it, because you're only going to learn more. You're going to be surrounded by other people who know lots about that stuff. As we're training to be a mountain leader, we don't spend a lot of time with other people who are training to be mountain leaders, because not many people are doing that. So when it actually comes to the training, you're like, oh, I want to perform well. But what you got to remember is you're going with a load of other people who are doing what you're doing, so you're going to learn from them and they're going to learn from you. So you're going in as equals. It's a brilliant course. I would definitely get onto mountain training, get your logbook and get on it, man, because it's such a good course. Assessment's a lot different. You didn't ask about assessment. It's a lot different. There is feedback and there is like, how could you have done that better? But they're looking for you to do it. It's like a selection process. They're wanting to see you perform, so they will give you a task and they're expecting you to be able to fulfill that task without any help from anybody else. It is just naturally stressful to be going on a course with other people there's a little bit of competition, trying to like do better than each other, but try not to. Try to go there to learn off the other people and listen. Don't stress about it. Just think, I'm going to go there and I'm going to take all your knowledge from you home with me. And they're going to take yours too. Sure, you've got a watch, a compass, the relevant maps, Take your ML syllabus book so you can keep referring back to it. There'll be a kit list. They'll tell you what you need. It's a bit like driving, right? You learn how to drive and you do exactly what the driving instructor tells you to do. You go out on the road with the assessor. You don't drive with one hand and like have your other hand leaning out the window when you're getting assessed. You do exactly as you've been told to do. It's the same with the ML. And then once you've passed, then you start going to your through hiker buddies and saying, hey man, like, I want to learn how to pack like you because your pack's so small and I reckon I could lead groups a lot more efficiently like that. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of questions and answers. I'll do another one again soon. So, let's get into it. Anybody that can keep their feet dry in Britain in the summer is a god. Hello? Oh damn it. Here we go, screenshots. I'll just look like some dude wearing shorts trying to move. Hello? Like a big river, or yeah, the ground is steep. That's weird. Just wear some light boots.